Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, very cordially. It's such a great pleasure to address you at this year's BEECOME with a sponsor lecture. This is a short presentation that will provide a particular roadmap for business and for education as well, I believe. Well, to love bees means to love the earth, and you've probably never heard that statement yet, but I will prove to you that it's very simple and obvious, like twice 2 makes 4. It's fascinating how many positive reactions that there are in honey. Honey gives you a lot of positive reactions. Buying honey, you not only care for your health, but also for the planet. It's an unbelievable feed for feeding your business. People would go into healthy life, and this means increased consumption of honey. I'm sorry, there's a problem with the clicker. Just take a look at this. This is a honey solar system. The center is the honey. If we assume that honey is the center of the system, I will show you how much depends on this honey, how many positive chain reactions this honey can start, and how good honey is for the environment, how many positive things can develop from that honey through practical action. Let's start from you. Whether you want it or not, you are the guardians of the ecosystem. You won't be able to breed the bees without caring for the environment, of course. Without flowers, without good flora, your bees won't be in a good condition. There won't be enough honey. Going further, there would be no good economics in your apiaries. At the same time, you can be perfect educators. If you don't do it yet, I really invite you to it. You know perfectly well that school classes eagerly visit our apiaries, where you can learn a lot about bees and honey. In Poland, in classes 1 to 3 primary school, has beekeeping, and this is a perfect tool for teaching children. This is corroborated by the number of children who visit our Epilandia, 20,000 children. Children love learning about bees, so we need to use the potential that is vested in them. If you invite schools to your places, children will return, and then they will return with parents to visit your place, and this also means buying honey. This is perfect. To be able to develop, beekeeping needs technology. Here, thanks to your work, to your involvement, we have it for every beekeeper, also for a hobby beekeeper and for a professional who lives on bees. Our company works on that technology to help you in your daily work. The companies that provide the supplies that are necessary to run your apiaries develop dynamically, year in, year out. That development would have never happened without you, the beekeepers. And as we speak about involvement, let our company be an example. We produce devices for beekeeping, equipment for beekeeping, and we employ 350 people. We are the second largest employer in the Wadowice County. Actually, you are the ones who give jobs to these people, and their work, their revenue, and also their safe life means the safe life of 350 families. Peaceful life, lives in peace. Let me also mention the families of our partners and our suppliers. Why not multiply that number by 2? These families live on beekeeping, and that means that they not only have money for normal functioning, but in a way they also promote bee products. They have access to them, knowledge of them, and if there are bee products, who produces them? Of course, that's you, beekeepers. Now, this is how this circle closes. You know why? I let myself create that honey solar system. There's one more important thing about our sector, and this shows you something. There are sectors that exploit world. Oil, any mining, textile and meat productions. Our sector, in turn, through what it does, helps the earth function. Beekeeping does not exploit the planet, it helps the planet operate. Time for a puzzle, a riddle. What is that? You'll say, perhaps COVID. If you think that this or that is COVID, you are mistaken. This is COVID, SARS-CoV-2. The pandemic has contributed to the development of our sector. People started to care for their health more. The demand for honey and other bee products has grown. The price has grown for bee products. We've observed that consumers buy consciously and they pay attention to product quality, which is why we need to promote buying honey from your apiaries, precisely. Let me return to my question about what that is. This is pollen. This is flower pollen. And bee products help your immunity system. Our sector does not develop at the cost of the people with diseases. No, you develop as people care for the health. This gives us progress. I have more interesting data. I'd like to reach 10 years back and show you some numbers concerning apiculture. On the one hand, there are nearly as many beekeepers as were 10 years ago in European Union. Growth from 625,000 to 655,000. The growth is only 5% in 10 years. Few, but on the other hand, see how those businesses have developed. For example, let's see the number of bee families, of hives, by nearly 50%, from 13 to 19 million. This is a huge potential of the market. And consumption of honey in Europe, in turn, is on the rise. Greece. Greeks eat 3.5 kilos a year. Austria, 2.5. Spaniards, nearly a kilo. Now look at how much can be done in Poland. What space there is for the development. I am convinced that in every country there's a huge potential in the market. Dear beekeepers, you have plenty of space to develop your businesses, your apiaries. And this is my slogan. There is no other creature in the world that would have PR as good as the bee. Bees are connected, associated with ecology, care for the environment, and they also have a lot of the friendly factor for children. If children like anything, of course, parents also do. So do the adults. The society loves the bee, and we all should exploit it to inspire you I will use a few examples to show you how we do it. These are our ways and proofs. The media love the bees. Our foundation, Apicultura, with my wife Barbara, as well as other beekeepers, are very often invited to the TV. Also, the radio is very glad to speak of the bees. Channel 1 of Polish radio broadcast for a whole day from us. We spoke of bees, how to help bees, about the magic impact of bee products and about how very much we need them. We support people who are threatened with exclusion, especially people with disabilities. Andrzej Sever from Slovenia designed this honey extractor that we have here, and that gave rise to this magnificent idea. In the bottom photograph we see Andrzej and 3 units of those passed to beekeepers in Slovenia. The top photo shows a beekeeper who lost control of his legs in an accident. We also gave him one of those to help him in his apiary. It's thanks to you, because you have ideas. Now, the golden medal at Montreal Epilandia in the category for innovative equipment. There was only one medal. There was no silver, there was no bronze. We can say that we are a triple medalist, therefore, and these are your magnificent ideas that we can make happen, and thank you very much for that. Just imagine one day we received an email. It came from a monastery at the height 2,500 meters. Orthodox monks wrote it. They have an apiary, but they couldn't manage it. They had no money, they had no equipment. Their knowledge came from the internet, and they were asking for help. So we went there, helped them, and we did it free of charge. Together with Jacek Wojciechowski, we shot a film, a story of the beekeeping passion and devotion of the monks was developed, and we got another golden medal at Montreal Epilandia. And education and assistance to the monks is one thing, but it's also the beekeepers in need who need that help. Grzegorz Rudnik at the top, who lost his bees due to this horrible burning of the grasses. Fires are a frequent threat to beekeepers, so several hives sold as well, burnt as well. You can see here also several moments when we are sharing equipment with the beekeepers in need. And this is an extremely inspiring example. Art is a perfect platform for education. A world-class artist working in ceramics, thanks to his works, we received 2 golden medals of Epilandia, the first in Istanbul and the second in Montreal. Stanisław Rak and his marvelous works of art in China provide an example that works of art can serve us in promotion of beekeeping and bees themselves. And now another example. The 12 magnificent costumes and beautiful wreaths. We promote the planting of melliferous plants. I believe that where you live, you can inspire one artist to make works of art with bees. This is how we could focus our attention on bees in an artistic message. The design you see here is a concept by a famous artist, Beata Bojda, working in ethno art. And this is our great reason to be proud. Epilandia is the work of my wife, Barbara, telling about it not to boast, but to inspire activity, so that you too had reasons to be proud. 10,000 senior citizens had the pleasure to visit Epilandia in 2 years. When it comes to the elderly people, there is a problem of exclusion, much like in the case of people with disabilities. See how much apiculture can do for everyone, not only for children, for senior citizens, for people with disabilities. 35,000 children visited us in 2 years. What a marvelous tool to educate children, to teach them what you need bees for and how to help them. Another interesting project is Kala. Kala and bees. This is educational material for the youngest. 10 films and videos all about bees and bee products. You can download them free of charge, also in English. Well, free license. We received patronage and recommendation of the Polish Ministry of Education, which automatically means that teachers in schools can use these films, can use these videos. They can teach about bees, about bee products, and importantly, how to help bees. It's only a handful of our activities that you can see, and all those activities can be translated into numbers. We've managed to reach around 10 million people, 44 TV programs, 62 articles online, 36 radio broadcasts, 15 articles in national press. Why? Because the media love bees. And don't be afraid to reach to the media. Use this situation. It's enough to act. Let me repeat. There is no other creature in the world that would have as good a PR as a bee. We need to answer one more question. What are people keen on? And that's simple. That their children can live in safety, security and good health on this earth. And that this earth is healthy too. Beekeeping can contribute to it in the best of the ways. And we should mention that developing its business. Now, most people from outside the sectors, and people ask, what about those questions and how to answer? Well, beekeepers usually speak of their problems. That's a fundamental mistake. No, give them a simple answer so that our consumers could help not only bees and beekeepers, but also the earth. And the answer is easy. Plant flowers. Bees will have more nectar to collect, more pollen, they will feel better, and you, the beekeepers, will have more honey. Buy honey from a local beekeeper. You'll help them economically. They will have funds to work with the bees. And you, beekeepers, will be able to develop your passion, your business. And that's what I wish all of you. 615,000. You're probably wondering what that number is. This is the number of us in the European Union. 615,000 people breed and keep bees. Just imagine, in a year, you will be visited by 100 children, just 4 classes from a school. Let of that number only 10 become interested in the bees. That's not difficult to achieve. Then you have more than 6 million people who are conscious of how important bees are and how to help them. And all of that so that the life is better for you, the beekeepers, so that we can live healthily here on the earth. So remember, breeding bees, it results in a positive chain reaction for people and for the earth. You are educators. You stand guard at the well-being of the earth. Thank you very much for your attention, for telling a particular story. Tomek is an example of an extremely charismatic person who, for the passion for the bees, knowing what beekeeping and its potential is, started to build and to create a particular type of beekeeping. He was short of tools, therefore this course of development to reach the beekeepers and create potential. Thank you very much for this motivation, for giving us motivation, for helping us, for motivating us, so that we go on doing what we are doing, because beekeeping is a very responsible profession, and the only one that has proper way of improving the conditions on this world. The presence of bees in nature improves biodiversity of the flora. This also means that there are plenty of factors that are favorable and advantageous to us people. Bees are important, but beekeepers even more so, because you breed them and you are the element contributing to the positive operation of that environment. Then you also should be buying those products, because that would be helpful. What Tomasz presented has an unlimited potential, and Tomasz has created tools for developing this bee culture, and so that you could do everything which Tomasz mentioned. And Tomek does it very well, and he needs support in it. We're one beekeeping family. Thank you very much, Tomek, for this lecture. I'd like to thank all the beekeepers, and I'd like to thank all the technicians whom you can't see. They're here with us. Anya, Mariusz, thank you very much. You're our hosts. I'd like to thank also the company providing all the services. I'd like to thank our guests for arriving here, and well, let's have as many interesting lectures.